Since the start of the war in Ambazonia, colonial forces have consistently used sabotage tactics to destabilize the region, disrupt civilian life, and tarnish the reputation of the Ambazonian liberation movement. These forces, often operating through proxy militias, have employed various violent means to undermine the efforts of the Ambazonian State Army, the ASA, which has maintained its commitment to protecting civilians and resisting colonial forces. The use of improvised explosive devices in civilian areas has become a hallmark of this strategy, creating confusion and fear among the population. The death of Julieth, an innocent civilian caught in an IED explosion on the 19th of September, is yet another tragic instance of this ongoing colonial sabotage. On Thursday, September 19, 2024, a tragic event unfolded in the Nkwim market area of Bamenda. I hope you remember that, where an improvised explosive device detonated, claiming the lives of about 30-year-old Julieth. The explosion injured several others and caused widespread panic as market vendors and residents fled the scene. The blast destroyed numerous food stands, leaving a once bustling marketplace in ruins. The attack bore the hallmark of a deliberate act of sabotage, similar to previous incidences where proxy militias operating under the guise of liberation groups were deployed by the colonial regime to discredit the Ambazonian movement. To what end, we ask? Let's begin here tonight. How are you doing, sir?
Splendid, Onyi. Well, Julieth, a displaced person from Oku village, had fled the violence of the ongoing war to seek refuge in Bamenda. She worked tirelessly to support her 5-year-old son, Tumundong, the land jewel, by operating a mobile coal box and selling vegetables. Tragically, her life was cut short by that explosion, leaving her son orphaned. Despite no group officially claiming responsibility for the attack yet, the federal government of Ambazonia under President Samuel Ikome Sako has denied any involvement. And this denial, coupled with the lack of any genuine liberation group taking credit for the bombing, strongly suggests that the colonial regime used its armed proxies to plant that bomb. And this strategy mirrors previous acts of sabotage aimed at destabilizing Ambazonia and weakening the resolve of its people. The death of Julieth is yet another sad case, a very sad case, but is hardly isolated. It's hardly an isolated incident. It fits into a broader pattern of colonial violence where civilian areas are targeted to create fear, confusion, and most of all, division amongst the Ambazonian population. These attacks are designed to discredit the genuine Ambazonian liberation movement, painting it as reckless and harmful to the very people that it seeks to protect and fight for. The colonial forces, often working through pseudo-liberation groups, have repeatedly used the IEDs, improvised explosive devices, and other forms of violence in civilian areas, knowing full well that the Ambazonian State Army has consistently avoided such tactics.
Well, the IED explosion that killed Julieth is reminiscent of the 2021 Nkambe bombing, which was later proven to have been executed by a proxy militia of the colonial regime. Both incidents demonstrate how the colonial administration manipulates violence to undermine the credibility of the Ambazonian State Army and its efforts to secure freedom for the people of Ambazonia. On the 24th of September 2024, Julieth's mortal remains were removed from the Bamenda Regional Hospital mortuary and transported to her home village of Oko in Bui County, where she was later arrested. Her family and community mourned the loss of a young woman whose life was cruelly taken by the senseless violence of the ongoing conflict. Her 5-year-old son is now left without a mother. It stands as a stark reminder of the human toll of this war. The death of Julieth serves as a painful reminder of the colonial regime's continued efforts to destabilize Ambazonia through violence and fear. As Ambazonians approaches the celebration of its Independence Day on the 1st of October 2024, this attack is yet another attempt by the colonial forces to demoralize the Ambazonian people. However, the resilience and determination of the Ambazonian people remains steadfast. While the loss of young Julieth is a tragedy, it should not deter the fight for freedom, justice, and the right to self-determination.